Hello, how are you? Today I'm going to talk to you guys about our terrible reputation and ask you, why are we so naughty? Online marketers, network marketers, home business people, why do we have such a terrible reputation? That is what we're going to talk about tonight. If we've never met before, my name is Stacey Hall from staceyhall.com. My mission is to simplify online marketing and make it fun for entrepreneurs to increase their confidence, influence, and results. If that sounds like something you wouldn't mind, you're in the right place. So why do we have such a bad reputation, and what on earth can we do about it? Well, do you realize that we kind of have a bad reputation? Is that something that you're aware of? Is that on your radar? I think most people who are in this industry do feel it from time to time. Like, we feel kind of judged. We get weird looks from people. People make assumptions. They say really inappropriate things sometimes. We get all kinds of wacky comments that tell us that there's a real lack of education. There's a lot of preconceived ideas about what this business is and what it isn't. And some of them are super antiquated, old school mentality, because they heard about some story from 1967 about some guy who had a garage full of products that they couldn't sell, and now they just have this idea that the whole industry is like that. Yes, we do kind of still have this soggy reputation, this not so nice reputation, and it's unfortunate because there are a lot of us who really, we treat it like a profession, and I think it's worthy of that, and I think we can do things to bring up the whole vibration of our industry in the marketplace. I really truly believe that. So what can we do? Here's what we can't do, or what we shouldn't do. What we shouldn't do is we shouldn't berate people for their opinions. We shouldn't correct them. I hear this all the time. Even I've heard it trained this way. If somebody says, "So is this a pyramid?" and they immediately launch into these diatribes about, "Oh, well, your company is a pyramid because you have the CEO and you have the managers and you have," and then have you heard this before? Please don't do that. Okay. If you guys have been trained on how to handle these objections by becoming defensive, it doesn't work. If anything, when you start coming on strong, it just makes the other person back away even more, and they think you're kind of crazy. Okay? So that is what you don't do. You don't become defensive. You don't try and stick up for the industry. Do not try and educate them. Okay? You can be right all you want, but being right won't pay your bills. So don't worry about looking right to that person and educating them, because I promise you, they're just looking at you like you're cuckoo, right? They're not listening to anything you're saying to them, all the statistics you're throwing out. As soon as you start trying to educate people in that manner, you really turn them off. So now we know what we don't do. We don't do that because it just turns people off even more, because they're just as they're just as stuck on being right as you are. So then it just becomes a power struggle, and it never ends well for us. What we also don't do, we don't go out of our way to make people feel stupid because they've chosen a different path. A lot of people actually really like their jobs, like a lot, and they don't see it as a problem. They're perfectly happy working for a paycheck, and they actually really like the stability that that brings, and they have zero desire to start a business. So they don't disrespect on everyone who starts a business, so don't disrespect on them because they don't want to. This is not for everyone. That's the biggest mistake we can make, is to assume that everybody should do this. Think about what would happen to planet Earth if everybody started a network marketing business. What would happen? What would happen if everybody wanted to work as an online marketer? We had a whole planet, 8 billion affiliate marketers, and nobody else was doing anything else. What would happen? The Earth would crumble. We would all die. We don't want that. It's not for everybody, okay? So stop acting like we have the Holy Grail and they're all dumb. That's why we get a bad reputation, because we become defensive and aggressive and mouthy. Okay? We all collectively need to stop being douchey and it will improve our reputation. There we go. So what I'm saying to you is that we kind of deserve it collectively. Now, me as an individual, I'm not guilty. You as an individual, you may not be guilty either. But collectively, as an industry, we've kind of brought this on ourselves. Okay? So now, perfect. We understand what not to do. What do? I have 3 ways that we can actually improve our reputation in the marketplace, and it actually doesn't take a huge amount of work. We just all need to work together. The first thing is present your opportunity properly. I'm just looking at my notes, my Ray Higdon notebook. So present your opportunity properly. When you are showing people what you do, don't be hypey, don't lie, don't exaggerate. Don't the person's like, hey, so is there a possibility for us to make money with this thing? Don't be like, we're gonna be rich! Yeah! Millionaires! Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. Hey, Milena, don't hype it up. Our business is awesome enough the way it is. So don't oversell it. Okay. So present your opportunity properly, the way you're supposed to. Don't hype it up. Because if you're coming at it from a position of lack and you are completely connected to the outcome and you're desperate, you're going to say things that exaggerate because you so want it to work out in your favor. If you do that, what happens is you're going to bring people on under false pretenses, and then they're going to get into your business and they're going to be like, wait a second, I thought we were going to be millionaires. I haven't made any money. Actually, I haven't even been able to cover off my auto ship. What's going on? Right? You don't want that. So you don't want to do that. Number 2, start your people off right. So if you present like a champion, you bring somebody in, have that launch meeting where you actually set them up properly with the right expectations. They need to know that it takes time. They need to understand that this is a 2 to 5, maybe 10-year plan, depending. I used to be a super duper slow learner. So some people just take longer. Most people don't actually mind that. If you are presenting your business properly, you're going to attract the right kind of people into it. You're not going to end up with a bunch of tire kickers and freebie seekers and lottery mentality humans if you don't make promises like that. So if you take those people and then start them off properly with the right expectations, let them know they should be going to events, let them know what kind of training is involved, let them know how many numbers they will have to go through to get that paycheck, let them know what to expect, then they're much less likely to quit, get angry, leave the profession with a bad taste in their mouth, and tell everyone how much of a scam it is. Because that happens a lot. Because people are coming from a place of lack. They have some desperation. They want people on their team so badly. They say the wrong things. They bring people in under the wrong pretenses. They don't start them off right. The person quits and tells everyone it's a scam. Right? And I'm not saying that rep's a bad person. It starts at the very beginning. And it goes all the way through. It's pervasive. So that's where we need to be responsible in promoting our businesses. That's number 2. So number 1, present properly. Number 2, bring people in right. Start them off right. Number 3, just be awesome. You can be awesome. Just be awesome. What do I mean by that? Okay, first I need a rank maker sip. Rank makers! I promise I won't do it again. I can't help it. So how do we just be awesome? Well, there's a lot of ways you can just be awesome. The first thing is carry yourself with some freaking integrity. Number 1, that's how you be awesome. Don't do shady things. Don't be shady, and people won't look at our business like it's a shady business. Number 1, just don't be a douche. It just calls to mind a certain image, doesn't it? You know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. So there you go. Don't be douchey. All right. Be good. Do good. Imagine, like Ray Higdon has this thing that he does called, it's Wealth Wednesdays, where he encourages all of us to go out into our world, wherever we are, and do something amazing for another person that has to do with us parting with money, to do something nice for them, And they're not allowed to know it was us. All they're allowed to know is that another person cared enough about them at that moment to do something nice for them. It can be pay a bill, grab their lunch, get a coffee. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. It's doing something nice for another person and not getting credit for it, because it tells them, okay, imagine if thousands of people were doing this every Wednesday, just as a starting point. Thousands of people in our industry were going out and doing something super nice for another human being and not getting credit for it. But the other person knew that somebody did it for them. Somebody, a nameless person. What that does is it reinstills them with a sense that there's good in the world. Because we live in a culture where people are glued to CNN and they're watching all of this garbage all day long. And I'm not saying that what happens in the world is garbage. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying is they focus on the negative, because that's what gets viewers and that's what sells. So they're filling their minds with all these ideas that the world is a bad, horrible place and people are evil. And it's not the case. So by us going out and being awesome, it reinstills in them a sense that humanity is good, that people are good, that people actually care. And if our industry as a whole did stuff like that regularly, imagine what the snowball effect would be when your company's convention went to, say your company's convention goes to Las Vegas and you have 30,000 people, okay? My company tends to go to Vegas here and there. 30,000 people we bring to that town. We're all going out to local restaurants and we are paying for other people's bills. We're the best tippers in the joint. We're holding doors for people. We're starting conversations. We're not being douchey. We're not being pitchy. We're just being awesome humans. They're going to be like, I can't wait for that network marketing company to come back to town because they're so amazing. They're the nicest people. They tip the best. They treat everyone like gold. I can't wait for them to come back. That's how we change our reputation, okay? And this is something that Ray Higdon talks about a lot, not just in Rank Makers, but in general, is how we as network marketers, online marketers, we need to change the perception from the inside out. We can't do it by educating, berating, telling people they're stupid for having a job and all that stuff, right? We do it by being so great that they can't, what is it? Be so good they can't ignore you. It's kind of an extension of that. Be so awesome that it just makes people feel amazing to be around you, and they will stop thinking that about our industry as a profession. They'll just stop thinking that because they won't be able to ignore that we carry ourselves with dignity and integrity and grace. Does that make sense? Now listen, not everyone's in a position to go and pay someone's lunch. I get that, right? But everyone can go and grab someone a cup of coffee. And we all need to just work it from the inside out. And I think we will have a massive difference of opinion in the marketplace about our profession within the next 10, 15 years for sure. Have yourselves a fantastic day. I cannot wait to see some of you inside the group. I'll see you on the next one. In the meantime, go make your mark. Love you guys. Bye for now.